What up, YouTube? G4Liddy here, once again, back with another late night video for you guys, and tonight's topic is going to be my review and discussion of the Naruto Road to Ninja movie. I've been waiting to see this movie for approximately 9 months, since I heard that it was coming out July 2012, so I had to wait till it came out on DVD in Japan so we could watch it here in America. And I'm not talking about that Korean dub bullshit. I'm talking about Japanese dub, English subbed movie, the whole movie with nothing cut out of it. And basically, to summarize how this movie went, it wasn't an overly action-packed movie. It was more of a plot-driven movie. And when I say this, they show Naruto struggling with the fact that he didn't get to see his parents. He knew his parents was heroes. He knew they died protecting him, but they wasn't around for him, and that made him very depressed. And on the other hand, we had Sakura, who had both her parents, but they both was always overbearing to her, so she didn't enjoy having them around. She hated having them around because how overbearing they was. So we got to see both of them interact with their parents, and then we got to see all the other Rookie 9 interact with their parents, and all their parents recommending them to become Jonin, and Naruto didn't have nobody to recommend for him to become a Jonin. In fact, he was still a Genin, so we start off with that, and then Toby comes and does this jutsu, that's like mini version of Tsukiyomi, and opens a Genjutsu world that sucks in just Sakura and Naruto, and he puts them into this Genjutsu world. And inside this Genjutsu world, that's where most of the movie takes place. And I don't know how to feel about that, but all the characters that we will see, the Rookie 9, everybody's personality was the opposite of what it is in the real world. So, Rock Lee was a pervert. Sasuke was a ladies' man. Well, Sasuke always, but he was into getting bitches. So that's what Sasuke was doing. And Akamaru, I think that was his name. No, Kiba. And Kiba was into cats instead of dogs and shit. So everybody had different personalities and shit, and everything was distorted and changed. And that one, Sakura parents was the heroes and died for her and shit like that, so she didn't have no parents. And Naruto's parents, Minato and Kushina, they were still alive. So we see them interact in this world. Naruto getting used to having parents, and Sakura getting used to not having parents. At first, they both seemed to love this shit. It was what they both wanted. But steadily they starting to figure out, this is not what I want. This is not the real world. I can't stay here and shit. So they both get to the point where they trying to track down Toby. They want to get out of this world, and that's basically where we meet the villain of the movie, which was this masked man alongside Toby. We didn't get to see who the masked man was until the end of the movie. I don't want to spoil that shit for you guys, but the masked man basically wanted to take the red scroll that Jiraiya had hidden, which the red scroll said was supposed to save the world and shit like that. They never specified on what that meant, but that's what the movie was about. Him trying to get that scroll and shit. And after that shit, like I said, this movie is not action-packed like you would think it is. It's very emotional driven, it's very plot driven, and I don't know how to feel about that because all the fights in it were really short and shit. I didn't really enjoy the fights. One of the only things I did enjoy was, in the distorted world, everything is backwards. So the Akatsuki, instead of being the villains, they were mercenaries working with the Leaf Village and shit. So it was nice seeing the Akatsuki be good for once. Seeing them fight the enemy and shit like that. That was dope to see. That was one of the few things that I did enjoy, but like I said, not a lot of fighting in it. It was a very emotional based movie. Naruto talking to Minato and Kushina and trying to compare it to the real world and shit. And like I said, and basically the end fight, how to put the end fight, the masked man, not Toby, but the masked man of their world and Naruto fighting. That it was basically. Well, I'm gonna say this. Hopefully, you guys won't figure it out. This masked man had nine-tailed fox of his own inside him. So basically, we got to see Kurama fight Kurama and Naruto fight the masked man, and it wasn't a long fight at all. It was like barely any hand-to-hand combat at all in that shit. But they both was pulling. And Naruto did one Rasengan. That was about it and shit. So it was like not action-packed at all. But I have to say the plot was good. It was interesting seeing this genjutsu world, and it was interesting seeing Naruto interact with his family. And seeing him interact with Minato, how everybody else acting together and shit. You know, and it was funny seeing all the characters have opposite personalities and shit like that. So it was a very well put together story that I really did enjoy, but I just can't get over the fact that the fighting sequences just wasn't there for this movie. The movie was about an hour and 45 minutes, and I would say an hour and 10 minutes of that movie is straight up building. It's just straight up building. It's just you getting to see more of the genjutsu world, and that's basically what you're doing. You comparing it to the real world, and it was an hour and 10 minutes of that shit. The action didn't ensue until a certain point, and it was like 30 minutes worth of action. And like I said, so but plot wise, I give it a 10. You know, it had a good plot. I love the plot, but fighting, no fighting in it. I have to mark it down for that shit. I'll say no fight. The battles and that shit, I would give a 5. No, not a 5. I would say about a 6 or a 7. So that would knock the 10 down. So I'd give the whole movie overall a 7 out of 10. You know, great story. It was nice. It was very emotional and shit. It was great. So like I said, great story, great plot put together. And things like that, but the no fighting will get to you. So if you're looking for this movie to blow you away with the action sequences, Naruto with Minato jacket on, and you expecting a lot out of that shit, you will be heavily disappointed. So don't come into this shit expecting great, fantastic fights and Naruto overwhelming his enemies and shit. Cause Naruto was kind of shitty in the movie, you know. But anyways, you can hit me down in the comments below. If you've seen the movie, tell me how you feel about it. Did you love it? Did you hate it? So give me your opinion down below. Subscribe to my channel for more reviews, and go like my Facebook fan page if you haven't. Chief Warley here signing off. Thank you for watching.